Hi travelers, and welcome to our channel, The Travel Boss. Do you want to know the best thing to do in Vilnius? Keep watching this video till the end. Vilnius is the capital and largest city of Lithuania. It is full of history, and there is a lot to see and do there. The city is in the southeast of the Baltic state. It is on both sides of the Neris River, and traders and travelers have been coming to its old streets for a long time. Today we are going to talk about 10 best things to do in Vilnius. But before we start our countdown, please subscribe to our channel, The Travel Boss, and also tell us if you're planning to go here. Number 10. Palace of the Grand Dukes of Lithuania. This beautiful palace was built in 2018. It was once the cultural and political center of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. This is because the original one, which had stood in the same place since at least the 15th century, was destroyed in 1801. The rebuilt palace is in the lower castle of Vilnius. It now has some beautiful Baroque, Gothic, and Renaissance-style halls for ceremonies, and is an excellent museum. Number 9. Gediminas Tower. Gediminas Tower has kept an eye on Vilnius and the Neris River since 1409. It has one of the best views of the city. The tower is one of the only parts of the upper castle that can still be seen. It is on a prominent hilltop and was rebuilt in its current form in 1933. The three-story red brick tower stands out from the rest. Inside, there are some great models that show how the castle used to look. Number 8. Uzupis Statue. Uzupis is the city's most artistic and bohemian neighborhood. The Vilnia River loops around it on three sides, giving it a square shape. The self-proclaimed republic, whose name in Lithuanian means beyond the river, has its own look, feel, and identity. This is perfectly shown by the Angel of Uzupis, a beautiful statue in the center of the city. Number 7. Gate of Dawn. The beautiful Gate of Dawn is the only part of Vilnius city wall that is still standing. It was built between 1503 and 1522. The gate is not only an important historical and cultural landmark, but it is also a popular place for pilgrimages because it is home to a well-known and respected chapel with the same name. Inside the chapel is a beautiful painting and icon of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and many people come here to pay their respects or pray for miracles. Number 6. Vilnius Cathedral. The bright white Vilnius Cathedral and the beautiful belfry in front of it are two of the city's most famous landmarks. The Grand Dukes of Lithuania used to be crowned in this cathedral, which is a very beautiful place to look at. For such a happy event, the interior is lavishly decorated with lots of beautiful paintings and frescoes. It's also worth checking out its crypts and catacombs. Many of the country's most famous people are buried there, and the tombs themselves are a beautiful sight. Number 5. KGB Museum. The KGB Museum, which was recently renamed the Museum of Occupations and Freedom Fights, looks at a hard, troublesome, and sad time in the country's history. It has a huge collection of things like artifacts, photos, and the actual prison cells where the Lithuanian resistance was tortured and killed. Even though it's not for the faint of heart, the KGB Museum is a must-see because it tells us a lot about Lithuania's troubled past. Number 4. Church of St. Peter and St. Paul. Even though the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul doesn't look like much at first glance, it's a must-see when you're in Vilnius. This is because its beautiful Baroque interior has stuccos with around 2,000 figures that are carved very carefully. Its interior is painted a bright white that makes it sparkle and look very elegant and fancy. There are some beautiful frescoes and a great Rococo pulpit in between the stucco walls. Number 3. Hill of Three Crosses. The Hill of Three Crosses is high above Vilnius and has great views of the city and its surroundings in every direction. Even though the view from the top of the hill is the main attraction, the hill and its three crosses are an important historical site and a sign of the country's rebirth. According to a story, 7 Franciscan friars were killed on this hill in the 17th century. 7 wooden crosses were put up on top of the hill to remember them. Number 2. St. Anne's Church. St. Anne's Church is one of the most beautiful and impressive buildings in the city. It is on the banks of the Vilnius River. The church was built in the flamboyant Gothic style in the year 1500. This is what makes it so beautiful. Its elegant red brick facade is a beautiful sight. It is framed by two towers, and in between them is a lovely spire. Even though its Baroque interior isn't as fancy as some, the main altar is well worth seeing. Number 1. Walk through the Old Town. Vilnius's Old Town is one of the largest and best-preserved historic centers in Northern Europe and the Baltics. It is a joy to explore because it is full of beautiful medieval buildings. It has a lot of different architectural styles because it is made up of 74 different quarters. You can see Gothic and Renaissance churches and cathedrals, as well as Baroque and classical palaces and guilds of artists. These are the top 10 best things to do in Vilnius. Do you have some other tips? Share your views in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Travel Boss. Thanks for watching.